Alright, BobalosRex here, and it's that time of the week. It's the weekly vault, so let's get into it. Dude, we are progging Heroic Galley. I hope we kill him tonight. So I want something good here. I don't think I got something good. Damn it. Damn it. I'm gonna take it just in case. We'll take this ring. I don't think I got anything to help me for tonight, though. So we'll have to see. At least I can upgrade stuff. So, that's the vault. What's the news? So, we got Emissary War this week. Let's get started right here. So the weekly event this week is Mythic Dungeons. So you can do Mythic Dungeons, get some Heroic Undermined Treasure. You can get a Heroic Jaster Diamond. You can get anything. You can get garbage. Okay? So, good luck there. Knock out the 4 Mythics. It's Mythic or Mythic Plus, you know, whatever you do. Then we got Rookery for the weekly dungeon. Get some bonus rep there if you're trying to get that bonus rep. Then we got the new weekly this week, I believe, is the 3 Delves. So you can do that. And then let's get into the PvP weekly. So we got Random Battlegrounds. We got Rated Arenas. And we got Sparks of War Undermine, so you can get some Undermine rep while you're getting some bloody tokens, if that's your cup of tea. And what's the brawl this week? Warsong Scramble. Alright. And then what's Alatab doing this week? She tears open a rift. Devour. Whatever that one is. I need to get some more scores still. But I'm happy with where I'm at. And I've been having a good time with it. So what else we got? So you got World Boss. Of course you want to do the Godfather. Make sure you get your loot from him. And I believe, yep, Aggregation of Horrors. And he drops the Soul Sigil. So I wouldn't even bother with him. He ain't giving money. He ain't giving resources. It's kind of like, The loot ain't even good. Alright, but Godfather always good. Now, what else we got going on this week? Is that... Oh, there's no hounds this week. You know what? I really got to get this working because Molly was up like the other week. And I couldn't see. So, I got to get him sorted. But I'm thinking I may not be Monk main next tier. I'm trying to switch off. I want to be able to play any tank I want. That's the idea. I don't want to be pigeonholed with a class buff. But that's side news. I think we got a tier charge this week. Let's see. I'm pretty sure we got a tier charge this week. We're getting to the point. No, we did not. Next week we get another tier charge then. We are getting to the point where we're going to get close to cap. So if you have alts, say you have an alt that's not level capped, some of the rewards you can get are level 80. You can convert that gear before level 80. I may do a whole video on it at some point again. But you can do that. Now, let's talk about the other stuff going on in the game. You know, we all know what's going on. Visions. So visions are here, and they are time-gated. But they're still great to do. You can get your first corruption enchant. You can get the head enchant, the first one. I got that up. I'm running Twilight Dev. I guess Echoing Void wasn't doing as much as it's supposed to or something. All I know is there's drama behind the corruptions. I just want Twilight Dev to be good again. And I'm using it, and I'm having a good time with it whenever I see it go boom. This is heavily time-gated. Y'all know the drama with that. That is just slowing everybody down. Is it good? Is it bad? I am glad they allow us to get this, so I'm currently farming towards getting that first, and then we're going to get all the other little goodies here. I got normal weapons all unlocked. And remember, all these unlocks are account wide. And I'm working towards 5 masks. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this week, but for sure next week I'll have all that unlocked. So that'll be good. Alright, and then of course, you got all the achievements up. You know, you want to start working on your achievements for Stormwind. Start working on the mounts for Stormwind. There are a couple of mounts up here. Here, let me just pull up Visions. So... Shit, I should have just did Vision. Alright, so the new ones, so you got the Void Forge Stallion you can get this week. You want to get this one this week while you can. If you are able to, you need 1 mask. You collect the horseshoes. Bada boom. For the Griffin, you need 3 masks, okay? You can use the easier masks. The first mask you get is the second worst mask. Multitude's mask is pretty bad. Like, those two are pretty rough. But the other ones you can get are pretty manageable. And you also want to get started on your Voidfire Death Cycle. You basically turn on a mask, go beat up the motorcycle, then you click on a ghost version of the motorcycle, and you send it to Dornogal here, and then you can start working on it. You can only get so many parts for it this week in Stormwind. There's one part you gotta click on something in the place, and then there's 3 that you just get as a reward for completing a vision with masks. So you complete a full vision with masks, and then pick up an item, and you'll have all the pieces from Stormwind this week. And then you can work on getting all the, like, the profession materials, you know. But you want to make sure you get the items from the vision this week. Because the way visions work is it's Stormwind this week. It's going to be Orgrimmar next week, alright? And then you can't do Stormwind again. And also, there's this Inferno pack. This person over here reminded me. You know, 30 bucks, 2 WoW tokens. I'm glad it's an even 2 WoW tokens. And then you can be Fellskull Ghost Raider. Alright, what else do we got going on this week? Oh, make sure you grab your cartel chip quest. Mine actually, when we went into the raid, it kind of just like auto-picked up for me. And this is great. So, also make sure you got 10 days left of the trading post. Make sure you get that done so you can get your customizable pet. And like I said, you got the bounty right here. You can pick up your cartel chip. So, we just get 1 cartel chip this week. Just make sure to grab it the next couple of weeks so you can get your item in 2 weeks. And then it'll be another 3 weeks to our final item, if you're trying to keep up to date with that. So there was that big housing demo that people got to play. I did a whole big video about it, you may have seen. That's a long one, you can check that out. Then we got the Raid Renown. Here, I shouldn't have done that. We got the Raid Renown. So the Raid Renown buff this week is 12% now. Next week we get the Augment Rune. FYI, you can go in with alts and do the lever. So you have someone invite you to raid and then walk in with all of your alts and pull the lever. By the way, I've done this. It works. Alright, next week, Augment Runes prices should plummet, but they will still be selling. Because the way I see Augment Runes is the cheaper they get, more people actually start to maybe buy them for their raid team. So we'll have to see. I'll have to see next week how that goes. Moving on. Season of Discovery. We may have had PTR data mined. I think I got everything in retail. Yeah, I got everything here on retail. So yeah, Season of Discovery. PTR may be data mined. So we may be looking at a Phase 9. I'm excited. Because then I'll be right. Y'all know I'm looking for something to be right about. In Kata, everybody in Kata Fresh, or in Kata, there's no Kata Fresh. In Kata Classic, they're just waiting for MOP. Let's be real. But speaking of MOP, they've been doing some raid testing on the PTR. I may hit up the PTR or something. We'll have to see. I'm mainly waiting for whatever the pre-patch promotion mount is gonna, what that's going to require, because we know there's going to be a mop retail crossover, probably like level of Pandaren or something, right? There does seem to be something in the data for that. And speaking of the 11.1.7 data, the belt got buffed. The big fancy belt got buffed. I am thinking that will last another patch. There's a lot of power into that, but it could just be a ring. But it's a ring around your body. You know, the new ring. And they have been tuning and fixing the overcharged event. I may take another look at that. Now, in Fresh Classic, they're doing ZG. I don't know how it's going over there, but they're doing ZG. That's all I know. Hearthstone. We are getting a balance patch this week. Thank goodness. Hunter needs to be stopped. Imbume Hunter, as fun as it was to play it, it is a damn menace. It is a menace to society. It needs to be stopped. Hearthstone needs to be saved. Hopefully tomorrow is the day. Alright? The event is ongoing. Make sure you do that event. Save Amir Drasil again. Hearthstone players. There's new stuff in the shop. And Ben Hearthstone did a post talking about pets. And he posted like WoW pets. And I was like, oh my god. Hearthstone pets. I wonder what that's going to be like. That's going to be crazy. And that is something in the works. Next up, Diablo. Campfire Season 9 PTR announcement. Expect that. Next week, I'm going to have a whole bunch of stuff to show off for a bunch of that stuff. Berserk crossover is still ongoing. There may still be the Twitch drop, or it may have ended already. But there's that Diablo stuff. Maybe I'll be checking out Season 8 of Diablo at some point. But they're going to be announcing Season 9, so I took my dang time. Overwatch. Overwatch X Street Fighter. If you like Street Fighter and you like Overwatch, there's some goodies you can buy. And I think there's some earnable. But we know how these promotions go. That's kind of why I'm worried about what WoW crossovers could look like. Because usually with WoW, you actually do things in the game. But with these other crossovers, Diablo, Overwatch, it's just like buy stuff to look like the characters. Which could be fun. You know, Monster Hunter did it where it's like, do stuff to look like the characters. Ah, that was cool. Doing stuff to look like the characters is cool. Than buying it. I mean, you could say buying is doing something. Also, an Overwatch mid-season patch. There's also going to be a Palace Royale skin bundle on the 3rd of June. Doki Watch Episode 3 came out. They're doing an epic loot box event. So from today, or from yesterday, I guess, till June, if you play with a buddy, you get an epic loot box. So Cheese is going to be asking me to play with her for that. Overwatch Classic was announced to come back in October. So Overwatch Classic fans, October. And then Overwatch is doing a Pride 2025. Hopefully we get some free stuff. And they'll probably do charity. So that'll be good. Pride is still in Overwatch. Good for them. And then in Rumble, who knows what's going on in Rumble? Let's be real. But they did patch in some stuff. And like I said, I still have fun daily rumbling. But I'm going to need some new content at some point. Hopefully it's not in maintenance mode. Honestly, hopefully, man, at some point on this newspaper, I would like to see Heroes of the Storm and StarCraft. Those used to be on here. How crazy is that? Maybe someday. Anyways, for me, what am I doing this week? I streamed. So hopefully I stream some more. Laura Rant always. And I'll still have to figure out what I'm talking about this week. I get my 2-piece of Scarlet Enclave raid, I think, in SOD. And that commenter actually helped me get a huge weapon upgrade that I'm going to talk about this week, too. So, a SOD video this week is in store. And thank y'all for watching, as always, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.